Following a game against the Packers that not only saw a heavy rain, but a heavy flow of turnovers for our team, we lost in really poor fashion. Though we did see some good play from a couple different guys like Max Williams with 2 touchdowns and Paulson Adebo with his 3rd interception in just 5 games with the team. But as we start this episode, we start back-to-back games against division rivals. We are 0-9 at this point of the season, and there's clearly no turning back from here. It's going to be a losing season, and that is why I have offered you guys the chance to change how we wrap up the rest of season 1. I talked about it last episode, and that's when we opened up the polls. The polls are still open, so you can go and vote over on the community tab, but essentially you have 2 different options. One being we continue the series as normal, 1 game per episode. The other option is we do 2 games per episode just to get through the rest of season 1 a little bit quicker and into the real start of the rebuilding process. Though we've already made quite a lot of changes to this roster, there's still obviously a lot more to do. So those were your guys' options. The poll's still open through the end of this video, and any changes that may or may not occur will affect Thursday's video. But as for this one, we are actually finally back healthy. We've had some big injuries, I would say, but Cam Akers is finally back in this one. Plus Collins, the backup mentor at middle linebacker. Occasionally he pops out there. So either way, we're finally fully healthy as we are now meeting the Seattle Seahawks, the first of 2 divisional games back to back. So hopefully things go well for us in this one. That was not the case in the first matchup against the Seahawks that opened up this series, where we gave up 300 yards of offense. We just managed over 100 ourselves in a 28-7 loss. This team has dramatically changed since then, and I'm hoping that's going to show out on the field. Let's get this rivalry underway with the kickoff from Brown. Wilson back to return. We'll keep it in the end zone. Seahawks will start at the 25 for Geno Smith and this offense. Now, Geno Smith is having a pretty good season, just under 2,000 yards, 18 touchdowns, only 2 interceptions, though I would love to change that with Paulson Adebo in this one, as it will be a run to the outside. Walker getting tripped up and will just manage 1. Now, I imagine this team, while primarily going to stick with some short, they could also very well hit some deep passes. They have a really good 3-set at the receiver position, but the first 2 plays go Walker's way, and that'll end up leaving them with 4 needed on 3rd. The first 3rd down on this whole game, the first real big play in this game, and it will go to Fant, who will pick up the first down and a couple extra yards. His defense definitely hasn't been great at getting the quick tackles on these short distance throws, as we almost get the sack, but they're going down to Paulson Adebo, who can't knock it away from Metcalf. Though that coverage was tight, it was a beautiful throw from Geno. If only Benito got there about a split second earlier, would have actually ended up being a sack rather than a play that set up a touchdown, as Walker caps off their first drive, putting them up 7-0. Well, there's some definite early work for us to get started with. And luckily, we finally have back Cam Akers, who really was the soul of this offense to start off this year, and we'll hopefully see a big rise in his play this last half of the season. Though for that to occur, he needs to stay healthy, and hopefully he will do, as we have upgraded the offensive line while he's been gone. So this will be his first game with the most improvement that we've had. Probably should have bounced that one to the outside. Instead, he took the first gap he found. But he will manage 6 yards the first 2 plays, leaving us with a 3rd and 4. With a double A gap look here from the Seahawks, that's a slight audible to the outside, or hot route I should say. Get this one out to Johnson on the zig, and he will get that first down by about half a yard. They sent the corner blitz from that side. Figured it would have been a little bit more open than that, but the quick collapse. But we get the first down. That's what matters the most as we go. Akers picks up another 5. Do need to make sure that we're rotating him fairly well as well. Again, trying to make sure he stays healthy. And we did see some decent play from Evans in his time out, as Williams gets the first down here for us up to the 46. Again, he's coming off a big game. 2 touchdowns, including a late one in garbage time, but still it was a good touchdown for us. As we have a one-on-one to the outside, Julio with another grab, as these cornerbacks just keep overrunning all these plays, but I'm not going to complain. One quick thing though, we did make a slight change at tight end too. Allen is getting the start in this one, as we really just haven't enjoyed the play from some of our guys. Definitely not enjoying these overthrows, as we had DeGuara wide open across the middle. Should have been a touchdown. Instead, Bennett overthrows it, and Diggs will get the pick. And as we have started the second half of the season, we'll definitely be taking a look at prospects at the end of these games. And with that interception and a really nice play down the middle by Seiler, kind of threw off the easy transition. But with that interception, I think the first one to take a look at is quarterbacks, and there are plenty of options for us to choose. But let's focus in on this one, try to get a stop here, as Walker just taking what we give him. We'll get about a gain of 9-ish. At least I'm pretty sure it was a tackle for a loss on first down. Either way, it's a 3rd and 3. From shotgun, 2 to the left, 1 to the right. Quick throw out of the hands of Lockett. Don't see that all too often, but we will get the stop on 3rd down, forcing the punt. Now, as we head out for our second offensive drive, let's try to keep things from snowballing here and actually get some good play in. As we go Akers down the middle once again, picking up 4. Probably going to see a good bit of Akers in this one, as the D-line isn't necessarily that strong, I guess I should say, as what a pick. Woolen diving the pass once again behind the intended target. We'll get an amazing interception, and the turnovers are starting to snowball. I'm pretty sure Stetson Bennett already has double-digit interceptions only halfway through this season, plus also some fumbles as well, as Walker finds the gap in the shoulder of Murray, does still manage 5. But I do feel like, at least in terms of base package starter middle linebackers, we are in a decent spot there. Could use a little bit of some help in the coverage, as Metcalf gets his ankle bitten, will fall down. But I think Jones could be a really solid developmental guy in terms of run stopping. Murray has some cover skills, but we don't really have that second linebacker with the cover skills. So that is one area to try to maybe address in free agency, as they do find Lockett this time. Inside the 25 down to the 21 as we end the first quarter. Seahawks looking to make this a 2-score game. But definitely the major area of need over on defense is this defensive line. We have gotten very little pass rush this year. At times we do well against stopping the run, then also some games we give up entirely way too much, as we do get the quick stop on the outside. At safety, with the addition of Savage just a couple weeks ago, and us having Durant, who's been playing pretty well at free, I think we're okay there for at least a year. I mean, by all means, we'll see what free agency brings, but it's not going to be an area that I think we need to address very quickly, as we do get a nice stop on the outside. Speaking of Savage, now we just need to come up big here on 3rd and 10. Not even big, just don't give up the first down on a 3rd and long, as they're just outside the red zone. Will be a pass. Geno going to the outside, but overthrows Metcalf, who did find the gap in the zone. It was a good call there for the Seahawks, just didn't quite execute it accordingly. It will be a field goal attempt for him, as that is back and up. We'll say Madden 24 always makes me think we're about to get a nice rush around the edge, but no. Myers hits it true. Now, if Bennett could just help us end a drive without it being a turnover, that would be fantastic, as we pick up 3 yards on play 1. And with the turnovers being as prevalent as they have been, I just need to continue sticking with the more run-heavy approach, as we do pick up a nice chunk on second down, making it 3rd and short. Wosu does get the stop after having to come back, left the gap across the middle, but ends up working out, I guess you could say, for him, as they don't give up the first down. How about a throw to the outside? That time placed well, as we do find Johnson, a nice chunk play to the 43. And from there, we'll go back to the run. This time a stretch to the outside. Nice ceiling block. I think that was DeGuara. A juke from Akers before getting picked up and slammed down at the 26. Devin Bush comes flying over to get the stop, but we have that nice first down as we approach the red zone. Going with a pass here. Anyone going to get open downfield? We had a couple different options, but Bennett had the pass rush in his head. Will be a sack. And with them stacking the box here, would like to see if we could leak out Akers on a halfback screen. We've been able to hit these a couple times of recent. We have some blockers out in front, trying to find a cutback lane to use more blockers, though. Looked like we might have stayed outside for a bit of a better return. But we won't get greedy, we'll take what we got. 3rd and 15, we're at least sitting about in field goal range. Would like to get at least further down the field, if not a lot more, as we had a guy opposite side. Hit comes in, and it will be a field goal attempt instead. Kicking from the 34, or actually no, a lot more than that, 37. Brown is close, but just pushes it wide right. The rookie kicker can't hit true for us, and it'll still remain 10-0. As an audible comes in here for the Seahawks, they'll drop under center. Makes me want to bring a blitz, so let's do that as they then decide, never mind. We kind of liked what we had before. Now a bunch off to the left, Fant to the right, just making everyone run a little bit extra to start off with, and they will find the rookie receiver for a gain of 6. Smith Njigba with the grab as he's out there on that left-hand side. He is a superstar receiver. Pass across the middle, Lockett will pick up the first down, almost doubling the yards needed. As mentioned early on, they have a fantastic 3-set at the receiver spot, plus a good running back as well. A lot for us to try to deal with as the spin move making the whole defense look silly. Walker with a heck of a run. That's the kind of play I want to see out of Cam Akers, and I know he could get that job done. As it's a 1st and 10 here for the Seahawks, we send the blitz, quick throw to the outside. They go Fant, who shakes the tackler, picking up another first. That time, Adebo at least there to get the tackle, but it's a 1st and 10 inside the red zone with a swing out wide. Fant will end up scoring on what looked almost like a tight end wheel route. Not even close for Murray. But as we're now down 17-0, we really need to find some amount of points here before the end of the first half. As we do go Cam Akers' way, gets by a couple different defenders, a nice juke there. Will be a first down for us. Though as we're inside the 2-minute warning, need to try to quicken this one along. As we'll switch it up a little bit of play action. Like to find Johnson across the middle, though they cover that pretty well. How about one-on-one? Julio deep, not gonna get the grab this time. Was a much better coverage on the outside, swatting that one away. 2nd and 10, a little bit more some play action. As I stumble on my words, try to get this one to the outside. Johnson gets the catch at the sideline, making it 3rd and 1. Now as we need to convert here, a little bit of some RPO perhaps. And sure, we'll swing it out wide. We'll find the rookie receiver who hasn't been out there much of late, but does convert for us. He did have a slight knee injury that took a little bit longer to get him back 100%. As we'll stick with the same look. Williams covered well downfield. Throw this one out wide, back to the rookie who gets the grab. Soft coverage there from Woolen. Expected a little bit tighter coverage from him, especially since he had that diving interception earlier. Would like to find Johnson towards that back of the end zone. Instead, how about Akers? Oppo! And he can't bring it in. Diggs knocks it free with the big hit. Though that time, it was a really nice throw from Bennett. We can't not capitalize when he does finally give us a good ball. But we'll get the first down the play after, calling one of our last 3 timeouts we still have. But we'll switch up the look here with 18 seconds left. It's a 2 tight end set to the right-hand side. Look for the one-on-one, and this time it's slightly overthrown for Williams. That's exactly what I was just talking about. When we have the good throw, we can't waste it. As we very much wasted it there with dropping the touchdown, then overthrowing the touchdown. Maybe 3rd time's the charm, as it's a quick blitz that we have to throw away. So not even close to the 3rd time's the charm. But we still have 2 more plays here inside the first half. As we will roll, we get sacked. So let's let this one roll down to about 2 seconds. Call a timeout. Will be a field goal unit coming out. Set to make this just a 14-point game As we head into half, Brown, this time looking much better, is right down the middle. We will grab at least 3 points to end this first half, making it 17-3. As we do head on into half, it's been surprisingly us with more of the offensive snaps, but Seahawks definitely making do with a lot more of what they are given. As we look around the league, first game up is over on the left-hand side. Buccaneers taking on the 49ers as the Bucs up 24-7. They are 3-6 on the year, currently ahead of the 7-2 49ers. Purdy with 2 first-half interceptions. Going all the way over to the opposite side of the U.S., Jets taking on the Bills up 22-7. Another surprise with the Jets being 5-4, but up against the Bills with the 2 losses. Cardinals also have been a bit of a surprise this year, currently 7-4, up right now to the 1-9 Texans, 23-17, and actually up, they win. Should probably look in the middle to find the full out information there. But as we get stuck back into our game, we will be starting off with the ball, and hopefully we'll find our way into the end zone, making things a little bit closer. A touchdown would still leave us down a touchdown that would still put us in a much better spot than where we currently are. Akers had 9 rushes in that first half. We'll probably look for around the same the second. And that's actually where we're going to start. This camera is kind of weird. Why is it up so high? Don't know. We'll go with a stretch to the outside. Akers makes the first guy miss, but is not going to get away, as now Max Williams a little bit shaken up. Looks like he's grabbing that left shoulder. We'll actually head off the field for further evaluation. So now we'll see Allen, who was the 3rd string tight end for us last week. He's going to step up to that 1 spot, and Hopkins back out there at the 2. As we have a play action roll, try to get this one over the top of the defenders, and a really nice grab there from Julio in tight coverage. Try to quickly work off of that, getting back to the line. They'll shake up their defense a little bit as we go right down the middle. Akers picking up another 4. Haven't seen much of any, actually, for Evans in that first half. We'll get him out here early on in the second, setting up the halfback screen, which we do get out there. Just needs to make one guy miss, but he can't quite get away. But a first down for us, I will take. As we'll stay with the spread look, 3 off to the right, 2 or just 1, I guess unless you count the running back also to that opposite side, but it will be another throwaway. Not a lot of space for our receivers in this one. It's a lot of tight coverage as it's 2nd and 10. Staying with that spread look, we'll give it to Evans with space down the middle, picking up the first down to the 41. But we'll go back to the heavy set, weak eye this time with a tight, scrunched up look. We'll try to pass out of it. And they're really covering everything. We'll get a late release from Williams, who is back out there. He seems to be doing okay, though we'll keep an eye on him throughout the remainder of this game. As we have a 2nd and 6, they send the blitz, but Akers able to bounce, but not break away. And now Akers shaken up on the play, though he seemingly gets up okay. But he's holding that wrist as he'll head off the field again. I didn't think running back would be an area where this team would need to look to address in the offseason, but potentially bringing in maybe just another guy to help out might be a good thing if Akers is going to continually have these injury problems. We also will need to address receiver, though. We've seen good play from Johnson. Julio, though, is on the older side and is not a long-term guy, as DeCuara will barely pick up the first down with what they say is a 0-yard gain. But good news from the locker room is it does just appear that it's cramps for Akers, so he should be back at some point. Never heard of cramps in a forearm, at least not while you're playing the game, but there we go. Johnson finally gets a touchdown on the board, wide open. They got sucked down with the crossing route and left them wide open, and luckily that time we didn't miss it, though the cameraman clearly missing all the celebration. Though I guess if you do think about it, for a running back, really having to make sure you hold on tight to that ball while running down the middle, I guess forearm cramps do kind of make sense. As it's going to be a first down, stretch to the outside. Walker somehow makes our guys miss. How we keep whiffing on all of these tackles when we're lined up, couldn't tell you. If anything, it seems like we just need to fire some of our defensive assistant staff who clearly aren't making these guys wrap up while in practice, as Murray, much better this time, gets a little of assistance from Young as well. One thing we're definitely not getting, though, is any sort of pass rush up top. Benito did have a sack last week as well as Seiler, but really haven't seen much from anyone else. And that's something we're really needing, as he does get back there. And DK's close to the first down, gets tripped up once again, 3rd and inches. Seems rather clear that this defense has one way in mind for tackling DK, and that's going after his ankles. As it's going to be a 3rd and inches, we send the blitz, and Durant hits home. Free safety right down the middle. Will get the stop and should be a punt. It was a gamble for sure, but one that finally pays off for this team. Now we have an opportunity to level this game up as we start with a fullback dive, and somehow they knew that was coming. So play 1 doesn't really go anywhere, and I would actually prefer DeGuara to go on a wheel route here to the opposite side, though. They actually end up covering that. The ball pops free. Williams not going to get back there. It's going to be a touchdown for the Seahawks on the sack fumble. Jerron Reed can recover it for one of the easiest touchdowns you're going to ever see. Right tackle did not hold up. Beautiful tackle from 55 there on the edge. Like I said, easy scoop and score. But just like that, we go from a chance to level this game up to once again being down 2 possessions. How quickly these games can switch. Now, if only we could do that for ourselves, as we do not find Johnson. He can't hold it through the hit. Can't really miss out on anything at this point, as we're just over a quarter left in this one. Williams with space to the outside. He does not have that breakaway speed, but he does have a gain of 17, as we will quickly get back to the line. They'll shake up their defense a little bit, going with 2 safeties high. As we try to roll, we have Johnson once again dropping it in, but also dropping it to the floor. Once again, going back to what I said earlier, we cannot miss out on these good throws that we do get from Bennett, as we do also miss out on what was a little bit of a gap there in between the guards. So it will be a 3rd and 10 for us as we're closing on to the end of the 3rd quarter. A little bit some play action, gonna have to roll again this time. We do have Johnson with the throw, not there. Again, why we can't miss out on the good throws we do get. And as we are close to midfield, I really would like to go for it here. We're winless on the season, so just getting 1 win would be fantastic for us. As we'll throw this one out wide, we do find Williams, who breaks the tackle. We have a good block from DeGuara, and it's a 1st down for us when we really needed it. We brought in Williams to be a stopgap tight end for us, but he has really turned things on the last couple weeks, and hopefully we'll see that throughout the remainder of this season, as we're going to go right back to him as he trucks one defender, then gets trucked himself by Adams, but we're down to the 15. And that also sends us inside the 4th quarter as we start at the 15, needing a touchdown here early on. We'll send Allen in motion. Right down the middle, Evans will pick up a couple, as Jerron Reed, who had the previous touchdown, a little bit shaken up. Looked to be some form of a lower body injury, as he will head to the locker room. We have a 2nd and 8. Not much opening here. Try to get it out late, and Williams will drop it. Granted, a drop versus a possible interception, I think a drop is better for us, as it's now 3rd and 8. Sticking with that same look, Williams underneath, and another bad pass on an angle route. It's a 5-7 yard pass. I don't know how you win a national championship and can't throw a 5 to 7 yard pass. As we need the 1st down here, let's extend the route for Rodgers. Also, why not send out on the wheel for Evans? We also have some options across the middle as we go to the rookie, and it's knocked away by Diggs. Turnover on downs. You can tell the connection there, not quite up to par with the rookie missing some time, the rookie receiver missing some time of late. That was a big opportunity that we missed out on. As the Seahawks take over, pass to the outside, Walker not going to get by the first guy in Joseph. But Geno having himself a pretty good game today, 13 of 15, has his team up 2 scores with possession in the 4th quarter. It will be a drop back pass. Geno across the middle. DK. See, that time we didn't go after the ankles, and he broke the 1st tackle. So clearly, if we take out the ankles, we should be good. 3rd and 4. Need the stop here, as we are going to send 5. They pick them all up, but we start to get there late. But Lockett, as Lockett does, comes through for the Seahawks. Mullen just about a half step away from getting a hand on that one to potentially knock it away, as they're going to make a slight change offensively, scrunch up the look, pass across the middle, DK with another grab. Geno closing in on 200 passing yards, just needs 28 more, and he'll pass that. On 2nd and 4, not sure how much more they are going to be passing, as they could very well start to chew some clock, but they will go across the middle, finding the rookie Smith and Jigba down to midfield. And we'll go back to the heavier line set here while still sticking out in nickel, just to see if we could try to get some form of a pass rush, though not a good pass from Geno, one of the few today. And the Seahawks will follow up with a single back set, 2 tight ends to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Will be a pass. Try to drop back into coverage, and not gonna be a pick. Mullen drops it. Very synonymous with how this game has gone. Opportunities that we let go right by us. As it's 3rd and 10, need to get a stop here. Pass across the middle, they will find Fant. Murray not quick enough to get back there, as they have a first down to the 26 as Geno passes 200 yards on the day. Once again showing that when we have that opportunity for a big play, we don't get it, and immediately we regret it the very next play as the Seahawks convert. Switching up their offense again with another quick throw across the middle. Fant not even going to get stood up. Instead, he actually stands up. Murray picking up 8. As they need just 2 more here on 2nd down. Still going to be passing as they go back to Fant, who slips Durant at the 2 and will step in for what I'm pretty sure is his 2nd touchdown of the day. And at this point, Seahawks aren't even celebrating their plays. As Fantas rolls off the field, our offense will head out, seeing what we could do late on, and apparently that's just miss more throws. And I think for the rest of this one, we could have brought back Akers, but I think we're just going to stick with Evans. No reason to risk any further injuries, as Evans does pick up a nice gain on 2nd. Though what this team desperately needs is 3 quick touchdowns with about 3 minutes on the clock. So we'll see how that goes, as it should be a quick throw out to Evans with a good adjustment. We'll pick up the first down up to the 45. And potentially something that we should start to try to do is getting the running backs more involved in the passing, because when we have tried it, it's worked out pretty well for us, as we do find Julio once again not going to shake the tackle nor get out of bounds. But we will quickly get back to the line, sticking with that same look. Try to set up some guys going deep. No, Bennett just going to end up rolling. Not going to pick up the block, but will dip out of bounds. If we could manage a touchdown here quick, get an onside, another quick score, who knows, might have a little something here late on. How about a one-on-one that we throw out of the back of the end zone? Can't quite say that was a missed opportunity because the coverage was good, but still would have liked to see something a bit better as the halfback screen goes nowhere. 4th and 6. Really needing to convert here to keep things going. Any chance of making something happen has to happen right here. So we're going to make a slight audible, or a hot route, I should say. How about a pass across the middle that we do not hook up with? That'll do it for us here. Now the Seahawks will end up tacking on 1 more touchdown the very next play, as Kenneth Walker took a massive run to the house after several missed tackles. So it ends 38-10, and this team, who looked so good in that Dallas game, really have not been able to keep that going. Well, it definitely wasn't the return we were wanting to see from Akers. He did suffer that muscle cramp injury to the forearm. Thought that was strange, but I guess kind of made sense, having to squeeze onto that ball. But again, not what we were looking for, but you have the opportunity to make this rest of the season go by a little bit quicker. If you go vote, let me know that you want to see 2 games per episode. We could get through the remainder rather quickly. We do still have some tough games coming up. Another one here against a rival in the Cardinals, who actually are having a really surprisingly good season, 7-4. They are close up top with the 49ers, who have yet to have their bye, who are 7-3. Seahawks only 5-5, so it's not like this division is fantastic, but we got to be able to turn things around. There's a lot of players for us to negotiate contracts with, though I don't expect us to bring back a lot of players for next year. We're going to have a really clean sweep, I feel like, of this roster. This year is first and foremost an audition, essentially, for the rebuild. And not many players are really staking their claim, though there have been a few. But until next time, Make sure you guys hitting that bell icon in the bottom right or scroll down hitting the actual subscription button and ticking that bell icon so you're notified of when these videos go live. This series posted every single Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday with a state-only challenge every Wednesday and Saturday, currently the Virginias. Now, if you guys do vote to change up the series for the rest of season 1 to that 2 games, that will start on Thursday. So look forward to maybe a quicker season or maybe just some more in-depth opportunities to look at some guys as we move along. But speaking of looking at guys, we are going to take a quick look at the quarterbacks that we have available to us, at least the ones that I have some interest in. And there are a few different guys, though not all are going to be starting quarterbacks. I do have some possibilities here in the third or potential undrafteds for backups. But we do have some guys up top that we could really try to take a look at. And I did try to find out all the information on some of them, yet it doesn't appear like we got all that information. But Bo Harold, a top 5 rated quarterback, is actually around 1 to 2. There is Walt Sherrills, another round 1. Most of these guys are on here because their ratings are all either A's or B's up top. That's what we're looking for a top end quarterback. Nick Molden, another round 1. Doesn't have as good throw under pressure though. And there is Kevin Parker, a quarterback I am very interested in as a round 1, who does have the A throw under pressure. Deep accuracy is a B, but short and medium, all A's. Feel like that would feel very well in the roster, or at least the playbook we currently have, especially with him being a strong arm candidate. And no one else really has that same kind of skill set. So I'm hoping Kevin Parker might be good, go a little bit later, allow us to maybe trade down in the first round and be able to pick up a couple different guys. Because I will throw in one more look at over at corner. There are some pretty good talent in that first to second round with Tony Teague. Looks really intriguing. But I think my favorite might be Peter Rice out of Oklahoma with a 6'3", 190 build. I think that is really enticing. So I would love to get a couple first round picks, be able to really start to boost this team. But quarterback is very much first and foremost in my thought process. But definitely let me know down below which of those quarterbacks you guys think would probably be the best. And we'll take a lot more look at the rest of that draft class as we move along throughout the remainder of the season. So look forward to that as we will face another division rival next time. So until then, see you guys later. Bye.